recap of few events that took place in the life of Rasulullah and afterwards in the history of Islam in Ramadan, just for us to know that it has not always been just all good in this month. Ramadan has been a special month even before fasting was mandated in it. So even before fasting was mandated, Ramadan had a special status. When fasting got mandated, of course, it became even more special. But not just for Rasulullah, even for the Anbiya that came before, Ramadan has had a special status. All books of Allah have come down in this month of Ramadan. And we know that Quran started descending down. First, this ayah of Quran were revealed in Ramadan as well. The first person who Rasulullah approached after getting that first revelation was who? Was his wife, Khadija radiallahu ta'ala anha. And she was a great support. She was the first one to accept Islam. She was the first one to believe in Rasulullah as a prophet. She was the first one to encourage him to stay firm on this. She was the first one to offer her support by standing behind Rasulullah in this mission. And she was also the financial backbone for Rasulullah as well. So she played a great role in the life of Rasulullah. Rasulullah lost her in the month of Ramadan. In the month of Ramadan, Khadija radiallahu ta'ala anha passed away. Rasulullah buried her with his own hands in the month of Ramadan. Same year, same Ramadan, another source of strength. Khadija radiallahu anha was the support. She provided emotional support to him. There was another kind of physical support that he had. Who? His uncle Abu Talib radiallahu ta'ala anhu. He passed away also in the month of Ramadan. In the same year, Amul Hazn, painful year for Rasulullah. These two personal trials occurred in the month of Ramadan. Then later on, Muslims got themselves established as a state in Medina Munawwara. The second year of Hijrah, fasting in the month of Ramadan gets mandated. And now everybody is fasting, right? So month of Rahmah, previously Rasulullah experienced some triumphs. Quran started coming onto him in that month, and then he had personal losses. And now the first month when the Muslims have started to fast, guess what takes place? The Ghazwa Badr, where Muslims are only 313 faced with an opposition of approximately 1,000. Where they have 2 horses, they have 70. Where they have 70 camels and they have 700. And all of them fasting, all of them in that state of hunger, in that heat, in that state of thirst, standing there facing an enemy which is far bigger than them. So, but then, because it was a special month of Rahmah, Rasulullah spent the night before the battle in prayers. He spent the entire night making dua, making a special prayer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The next day the mercy came in all forms. Even the angels' descent was there, and they came and they fought with the Muslims. So the trials have always been rare in this month of Ramadan. The other 2 big battles, the Battle of Uhud. Do you know when the Battle of Uhud took place? Just few days after Ramadan. So perhaps 3 or 4 days, meaning right after Eid. When would they have come to know about this? That the armies have started marching towards Medina Munawwara. In the last Ashra of Ramadan. In the last Ashra, the most blessed part of Ramadan. In that month, they had to start preparing for the battle. They had to start making preparations for the battle. Guess where Khandaq took place? The Battle of Trench, where the Muslims, to defend themselves, had to dig a trench around the city. They spent day and night without much food, without very little to eat. Such times where the Prophet ﷺ, where the Sahabi would come and tell Rasulullah, Ya Rasulullah, I'm feeling so hungry that I have tied a stone around my stomach. Rasulullah would lift his shirt to show that he had 2 tied around his stomach because of the peak of hunger. That battle took right after Eid as well, Eid al-Fitr. So when would they be digging the trench? In Ramadan. In Ramadan. 2nd Hijri, Ghazwa Badr took place. 8th Hijri, the Muslim army of 100,000 plus march to Makkah Mukarramah for Fatah Makkah, the conquest of Makkah. That's the time when Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and all the other Sahaba Ikram radhiyallahu ajma'in, they showed the exemplary forgiveness of not taking revenge, not taking any actions against those who had prosecuted them, who had humiliated them, who had hurt them in every form and way. When did that journey take place? When did they reach Makkah? That happened in Ramadan as well. Fatah Makkah took place in Ramadan as well. So in the life of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, there have been battles, there have been personal trials, personal losses that have taken place in the month of Rahmah, in the month of Ramadan. Going forward, do you know when was Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu murdered, and when did he attain martyrdom? In the month of Ramadan. In the month of Ramadan. Again, a major loss for the Ummah, a major shock for the Ummah. The family of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, somebody who Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam loved as his very own, being murdered not by somebody outside of the Muslim community, but within those who pretended to be Muslims. There are the battle that caused Islam to enter into Persia. That battle led by Sa'ad ibn Waqqas radiallahu ta'ala anhu. That battle took place in Ramadan, where the Muslims were 30,000 versus 200,000 of the enemies, where the enemy had elephants who they would use to simply crush. 6,000 companions attained Shahada in that battle. 6,000. The Battle of Spain, who Tariq bin Ziyad led, 12,000 versus 90,000. That happened in Ramadan. Who entered Sindh? What was his name? Muhammad bin Qasim. Muhammad bin Qasim entered Sindh. The Islam entered into this region in Ramadan. In Ramadan, Muslims have continuously been in battles. What I'm basically trying to tell you is that this concept that Ramadan would be a very laid out, chill period for Muslims, that's a wrong concept.